Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're revealing some of the lesser-known facts about Diddy's life, according to the documentary Diddy, the Making of a Bad Boy. By now, the media has thoroughly investigated nearly every detail of the criminal charges facing rapper and producer Sean Puff Daddy Combs.
Unchecked wealth and power is very dangerous in our culture. It allows people to get away with horrific behavior.
But what remains murky is the minutiae of his upbringing, with Diddy's tempestuous backstory holding clues to imminent atrocities.
We need to be asking the question, not what's wrong with you, but what happened to you.
In the new Peacock documentary, childhood friends and early acquaintances recount stories about the man they knew before the fame.
I know Sean, not Diddy, not Daddy Love.
And draw a linear progression from innocent boy to industry beast.
He's monsterized now. But monsters are made.
So what new discoveries account for Diddy's dark rise? Here are 10 surprising findings from Diddy, the Making of a Bad Boy.
It's something that's been going on in the industry, and those who speak about it usually meet their demise.
Sean's father was a murdered gangster. Although his murder was never solved or even investigated, Sean's father Marvin was assassinated when Sean was just 2 years old. It's believed that Marvin was gunned down due to his involvement with New York City gangs. Though Marvin's criminal streak opens up questions of nature versus nurture, it's made clear that the fallout of his death and the environment Sean inhabited would serve as far greater forces in his own life of pompous crime.
Here's a man who lost his father early in life. There's a desire to belong to something bigger than yourself, to not be isolated.
Sean was raised on a silver spoon. Despite accounts that he grew up in Harlem surrounded by poverty, Sean moved to the suburban north side of Mount Vernon with his mother Janice just after his father's death. In the documentary, childhood friends paint a different picture of a little boy decked out in jewelry and nice clothes.
This is a 4-year-old in a 30-year-old's wardrobe.
Sean attended a private Catholic school and became adjusted to the finer things in life from a young age.
He also was one of the first kids that I knew that had like a Gucci watch.
He always had all the best of everything.
It wasn't all golden glitz, however. He was relentlessly bullied for being viewed as a soft rich kid, and his home life would soon become rife with chaos that planted the seeds for his future crimes. The freak-offs began in Sean's childhood. At the height of his fame, Diddy's deceivingly lavish after parties, quietly referred to as freak-offs, were a hotbed for criminal activity and abuse. But little was previously known about his mother's Janice Combs parties that he was subjected to as a child. Tales of sex, substance use, and highly adult matters, all occurring in Sean's home, emerge in the making of a bad boy.
This is what we were fed. Was it desensitizing us? I'm sure it was. Were we aware of it? No. That was just Saturday night.
A specialist pointedly highlights how this early exposure could have normalized bad behavior and generated traumas that Sean would rehash as a rich and famous adult.
The trauma is there and it's still unresolved. And you just have more resources to do more damage with.
Sean joined the same gang crew. Sean grew up with a lot of material things, but was missing a lot of emotional support. He had no father figure, his mother lived a wild and reckless lifestyle, and his best friend and protector had gone away to the military. To avoid isolation, Sean turned to the same gang. In fact, this is when the name Puff Daddy was born.
I'm like, what's up, Sean? He's like, yeah, they call me Puff now. And I'm a Puff Daddy now.
In a way, Sean had shed the skin of that meek, directionless boy. The same gang's outlaw camaraderie provided a new sense of glory and power to the hungry young man, who'd soon be known to the world as Diddy the media mogul, and later, Diddy the media monster.
Some perpetrators are profoundly damaged individuals and feel powerful. Very powerless. And a way of being powerful is controlling and victimizing other people.
Diddy fought tooth and nail to land his first gig. Despite the privileges he was graced with, Diddy still had to earn his place in the music world. He resorted to drastic measures to get the attention of top producers at Uptown Records, including sleeping outside of their cars, until he finally landed an internship. Diddy was determined to fulfill that grandiose self-image he'd manifested in order to cement a legacy.
I'm reaching big. I'm going for the big time. I'm trying to have my name in lights one day, baby.
The City College tragedy made Diddy infamous. One of Diddy's first majorly publicized scandals was the City College tragedy, where a crowd crush at an overbooked celebrity basketball game took several lives. The media descended on the hellish spectacle, thrusting cameras in the face of Diddy, the event's promoter.
This thing somehow or another made him the most famous guy around.
How you doing, baby?
Puffy became more known. It almost made him in a real weird way.
Diddy was hit with lawsuits and settled privately, but never faced criminal charges.
He never owned up to it, never just said, I apologize.
You know, we sold tickets, but we didn't outsell. The place, it wasn't sold out.
That's a blatant lie.
Those involved in the lawsuits discuss how this lack of accountability made him feel untouchable and was an early indicator of the vicious streak that would come.
I can show you how we have fun and stay out of jail, too. And make money.
Diddy's bad boy image was born behind the scenes. After establishing his own label, Bad Boy, Diddy was launched into superstardom by recruiting a roster of the industry's most influential voices. This multi-million-dollar windfall provided an impenetrable dome that inspired Diddy to act on his bad boy image, which was not just a moniker, but his true persona.
He felt like that in order for him to have this image, you have to be larger than life. And he thought that if people fear him, they respect him.
Dozens of documentary participants come forward to unveil threats he'd made to people in the industry. Anonymous whistleblowers report how he forced employees to perform heinous tasks for him, sworn to secrecy out of fear of retaliation.
He told me that if you bled me, bled out. Bled out. I mean, dead.
He was harsh and violent towards his collaborators, like artist Don Richard.
What people don't know is behind the scenes, she was denied food, she was denied water, she was denied sleep.
Diddy's wholesome family was a construction. Despite flaunting his supermodel arm candy, Kim Porter, and boasting about adopting her son Quincy, the boy's father, producer Al B. Sure, claims there was never a legal adoption, implying that the entire ruse was crafted by publicists to make Diddy look like an angel.
And if you haven't noticed, his name is still Brown.
Kim's image was carefully constructed too.
He would fly glam out to even vacations because we had to make sure Kim Porter looked perfect.
And Diddy even controlled who was allowed to come in contact with Quincy.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Diddy may have been involved in Biggie's death. Though it's mostly spoken about in a vague, inconclusive manner, former bodyguard Gene Deal recalls Diddy's suspicious behavior before and after the murder of one of the biggest names in hip-hop, Biggie Smalls.
He was just acting real anxious and trying to get Big at this party. Big was telling people he had to be in London, but Puff was telling people he ain't going to London.
Gene believes Diddy could have set Biggie up by placing him in the atmosphere where he'd be killed. He even goes on to detail how, in their last conversation, Biggie was trying to distance himself from Diddy.
He just wanted to be out of Bad Boy and out with Puff. Because Puff owned his publishing, that's a whole lot of money.
Whether or not Diddy directly influenced the assassination of Biggie Smalls may remain a mystery, but Biggie's issues with the record label were not at all uncommon. Diddy's publishing rights deals were shady. When artists signed with Bad Boy, they handed over the copyright of their music to Diddy. Although he assembled a stacked roster, many inevitably ditched the producer over money disputes.
Everybody who went to Bad Boy left without their royalties, and then he tried to come back and give people back their publishing.
Despite publicly offering artists their royalties many years later, there was a caveat. It came out that Diddy supposedly forced musicians to sign NDAs, barring them from speaking about anything that happened to them at Bad Boy in exchange for their publishing rights.
Honestly, somebody told me, one of the artists was like, they only offering you like $300.
Though Diddy, making of a Bad Boy, proposes an explanation for much of Diddy's troubling behavior, we're still left with a lot of questions.
I don't know the answer to why, but I truly believe it all goes back to childhood.
And a lot is left unsaid.
Yeah, no, I can't go into that. There's legal proceedings going on right now, so this will be, but yeah.
Despite these candid testimonies, the filmmakers consistently undermine purported allegations with immediate disclaimers that the speaker's confessions are technically unproven. So while it's tricky to weed through what's true and what's hearsay, we can only hope that Diddy facing true legal accountability will embolden more victims to tell their stories, setting the precedent that powerful perpetrators can never remain insulated forever.
We can't play with Sean Combs. These are things that we have to keep like our dirty little secrets.
Did you buy into the documentary's agenda to explain and rationalize Diddy's dark rise? Let us know your takeaways from Diddy, Making of a Bad Boy, in the comments below.
Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.